All right, do you need some cash? Of course you do. We all need cash. I'm going to talk about 3 ways to get some cash quickly if you need it. We'll go down in order. I've got 3 different ways here that you can get your hands on some cash. So my name is Benji. I'm one of the band coaches here. I've got a studio in Northern California. We do art, music, and dance, where we have a location that we've purchased a couple years ago, and then we also run programs in the schools. And so I want to talk to you about how you can get your hands on some cash. So cash is king or queen, as they say, right? And so having access to good cash flow is really important, but also there might be some improvements you want to do in your building, some equipment that you want to buy, a program you want to invest in. There might be all types of reasons why, if you can get your hands on some cash right away, that it would be really beneficial. So here are 3 ways that you can do that. The first is membership fees. If you don't charge a membership fee or a sign-up fee or a registration fee at your studio, you absolutely should. 2 different ways you can do this. Some studios charge just a one-time sign-up fee. So lessons are $150 a month for private music lessons. And the first time you sign up, it's a $25 registration fee, sign-up fee. And it's just one time, and there you go. You sign up 100 students at $25, there's $2,500, and you haven't done anything, and there's no expense to that. So literally $2,500 in your pocket. Now, if you want to get a little bit more sophisticated with it, do a membership fee. So a membership fee implies that you are charging this annually. So we charge our studio a $50 annual membership fee, right, per family. So every year, if students are continuing, we run year-round classes for most of our classes. So if they're continuing every September, we go ahead and charge them the $50 membership fee. We have about 700 students, so probably about 600 families, because we have a lot of students that do multiple disciplines in our studio. So 550 to 600, you can do the math, times $50. That's a nice chunk of change every year. Every September kicks in for us. So that's really nice. So easy to implement that. Pick a day, pick a time. If you want to do annual, or if you just want to start out slow, do $25 per family. It's a registration fee. Health clubs do it, gyms do it, athletic sports do it when you sign up. So it's not a big deal. People are not going to push back on it. If you want, you can get a small item. You can get, for dance, we do these little dance bags. They cost us like $3. For art, they get a little art portfolio kit. It's a little bit more, but again, we charge $50. They just get it once. And those kits probably cost us about $20 one time. For music, you could do a binder with some blank staff paper in it, or a welcome packet, or a tote bag for $10. Again, if you do this, when they sign up, they get the tote bag. Maybe it costs you $10 or $15. You've got your logo in it. And then every year you're charging them $25. And so you keep your students for a couple years, and that's just money in your pocket. So that's one way to get some cash quickly. The second is going to be credit cards. So credit cards get a bad rap. You don't want to go into debt too much if you can avoid it with credit cards. But credit card companies are fighting for your dollars. There's so many credit card companies. You want to do airlines, you want to do points, you want to do Amazon, whatever you want to do, there's a credit card for it, right? And so the easiest way is go online, find a credit card that's got a good deal. A lot of them are going to give you travel miles or bonus points when you sign up. And you spend like $3,000 in the first 6 months or whatever, and they're going to give you 0% interest for a year, sometimes 18 months. Those ones are gold. So sign up for those, take advantage of that spending power. You've got, again, 12 months, 18 months, purchase what you need to, and then you've got, then you can pay that back as you've got some income coming in from that big purchase. So that's a good one to do. That takes probably a couple weeks, and you probably do it online, and you'll get your determination, how much you've got, how much, your spending limit's going to be within a couple days, most likely, and then you'll have access to it pretty quickly. So that's good. The last one is going to be able to give you the most amount of money. It does take the longest time to accumulate or to get rolling, and is the most amount of work. But that is a business equity line of credit. So if you do not have a business equity line of credit, I highly recommend you having one. It's super important to apply for one when you don't need the money, because it's going to take a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months until that gets funded and goes through, and you'll see how much you qualify for. So if you need the money to make payroll like next Friday, this is not for you. But it's long-term thinking. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your bank where you bank at, where you've got your business account. You're going to say, I want to open a business line of equity. They're going to run through your financials. They're going to ask you for, a P&L statement, balance sheet, maybe the last couple years. And so you gather all that information that they ask, work with your banker, especially if you're at a local bank or a local credit union, they'll help you walk through it. And depending on the size of your business, you might be able to get a business equity line of credit for $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, right? So the way that works is, if you're not familiar with it, it is a line of credit that generally you don't have to pay anything on. Some banks will charge like $100 a year, like maintenance fee. You can shop around and see if you can get a bank that, doesn't charge that. But it basically gives you access to that money, but you don't pay any fees or any interest unless you actually use it. So what you can do is, you've got that all set up. I have it on my Chase account. We happen to use Chase for our business, so I have a business equity line of credit for Chase. So if there are some big purchases I need, if it's summertime and our income is a little bit low and I need to make some repairs to the building, or there's got a big project going up, or there's payroll coming up and we're going to be a little bit short for a couple days until the next month kicks in, whatever it is, I can go ahead and access those funds. And then there's an interest rate. It's usually variable that's tied to it. And then you just pay it back as you can. I mean, obviously there's a minimum, just like a credit card, that you have to pay back, but then you just pay it back. A lot of banks will you can only have a balance up to a certain amount after a year or 18 months, and then you have to start paying it back even more. You can look at all the terms and conditions for each bank, but I would shop around. You might get turned down. We were turned down for our first equity line, and so we just went to a different bank and they gave it to us. So it really depends. I would first start with the bank that you bank at, because you've got a history there. They know you. Even if it's $5,000 or $10,000, that gives you access to that money like the second you need it. As opposed to, if you want to do the membership fee, you got to kind of put that in place and find a day and charge people. Credit card's going to take a little bit of time too. And again, be really careful, plan ahead. So if you're in a good financial space right now, go get that business equity line of credit right now. Do it right now. Do it from a couple different banks. We have business equity lines at two different banks, a local credit union and Chase, as I mentioned. And we've had to dip into both of them at times. And so it's really important that you always look to borrow money and set that all up when you don't need it. So if you're okay, like I said, if you're doing okay right now, this is the best time to go in the bank. You're not going to have a lot of credit card debt. Your credit score is going to be pretty good. Your financials will look pretty good. And so that's going to look good to a bank, and they'll open it up. And that you'll be good to go. If you really need the money and you've maxed out credit cards and your P&L doesn't look good, and then you go in and ask for this equity line, it might not go so well. So those are my 3 recommendations. Membership fee, you can do quickly. You can do it one time, or you can do it annually. I highly recommend annually. The second is a credit card with 0% on purchases for the first 6, 12, 18 months to pay back with 0%, and then that equity line of credit. So if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me or any other BAM coach. But for your financials and getting cash flow and getting cash for big purchases, or just for making payroll and getting through some tough times, those are the 3 things that I would hit up. Yep. Good luck.